Hey everybody, Lee Roth with the Dean King Training Institute. So, from time to time we like to come to you with some different questions that we have asked to us either from social media or from students in-house that we have on campus. And I wanted to take this opportunity to address some of these, but this is specifically about hail repair. We've never actually sat and talked about just questions about differences in hail repair and what a student or a technician in general really faces out there in the real world on the hail trail. The one thing that everybody wants to know is how long does it take for somebody to get the experience level that they need to genuinely go out and work hail? And that's actually a very difficult question to answer because there's no specific set time. It's genuinely experience level based on an individual's ability and how well they practice and how much time and effort they put into it. Typically, those of us that have been in the industry for a long time usually recommend that someone doesn't attempt retail hail for typically upwards of 2 years. Now, wholesale hail, doing work at a body shop or a wholesale dealer or a note lot, something along those lines, is very different. That's incredible practice, and it's great work for you to be able to do to get better practice and to get more familiar with hail and to be able to better yourself and become faster and better in the long run and still be able to get paid to do it. So that is something that you should be able to start tackling shortly after training. Give yourself about 3 months roughly before you start tackling something like that. However, that is great practice. So another question that always comes is, how much money can I make doing hail? Because people hear, huge dollar signs, huge money out on the hail trail. Whether you're chasing all over the country, in your part of the town that you've got access to dealerships or body shops, and there is a lot of money that can be made working hail. However, to be realistic and to really give you some of the true aspects of it, things that you have to take into consideration and realize is the travel, the expenses when you're traveling. You've got all your same expenses at home as well. So yes, there is great money that can be made in hail repair, but there's all those different expenses that you do have to take into consideration. Now, unfortunately, there's not a specific number that I can quote out there to you. I know people that work hail a little bit throughout the year that may make $60,000, $70,000. I know guys in the industry that can make $250,000 working hail over the course of a year. But a lot of that has to do with experience level, the dedication, how much time you're willing to put in on the road, how much time you're willing to put in during the day. Are you going out and working an 8-hour day, or are you working a 14, 16-hour day? Because especially when it comes to hail and working the hail trail, as we like to call it, if you don't fix a car, somebody else is going to. The differences in tools as far as what I carry when I'm going out on a hailstorm compared to what I would keep just going and doing a route at a dealership or keeping around my shop is not hugely different. A couple of the things that you will want and that you will use more often when you're working hail is you're going to use more whale tails and different lengths and different sizes of whale tails. That's something that'll be very beneficial to you, along with longer rods, possibly something in a carbon fiber type rod that's extendable, things in the 5, 6, up to 7 foot range, depending on the types of vehicles that you're going to be using. So those are a couple of the different things that you would use, along with other accessories. You're always going to be needing glue and different tabs and your good slide hammer and your mini lifters, along with door hangers to be able to work through the doors when you're working roof, a good quality hood stand that you can take a hood off, put the hoods on, put a deck lid on, different things like that. And you'll also learn what you like as far as a travel cart, what hood stand you want to carry with you from, there's different types of hood stands. Some of them are aluminum and carbon fiber hood stands that are very, very light and compact. Yes, they can be rather expensive, but they're also a lot easier to travel with. One of the other questions it's a huge question within the industry for hail is, how do you go about finding somebody to work with or work for in the hail business? And that can be very difficult, especially for someone that's new in the industry. Body shops, again, can typically be a very good avenue for you to get hooked up with, as well as dealerships. If you're working a dealership route and you're already doing work for that dealership and they get a hailstorm, now you may not and probably won't be able to take care of that hailstorm yourself because of the number of cars that are involved there. But that doesn't mean, since you're not their go-to guy, that you can't get hooked up with the company that does come in to do the vast majority of their cars. So that's a good avenue. Also, honestly, 2 other ways. Any chance you ever have to go to one of the Mobile Tech Expo shows or like the PDR World Cup, the conventions that go on throughout the year in different locations, those are great networking opportunities to meet guys in the industry and people that are already out there and get your name out there. Also, the Facebook forums. Facebook is a phenomenal place for you to get that information out there that you're looking for a spot. Network with people, meet people in the industry. You know, our industry has genuinely changed over the course of the last 3 to 5 years, that guys talk to and network a lot more with each other, where it's not so backstabbing the way it used to be. So that's a great avenue to get introduced to the hail world. Within the industry, you hear different problems as far as getting out on a hailstorm or dealing with people as far as who's paying you and things like that. You know, the most important thing is when you do get hooked up with somebody, ask around. Those Facebook forums are absolutely so valuable for information as to, hey, I'm talking to so-and-so and I've got an opportunity to go chase hail with them. You know, does anybody know who this guy is? Absolutely. You know, yes, I know him, he's a great guy. Or no, stay away from him. You know, unfortunately, there are bad apples in all industry, and we still have them today in ours. You know, that there's guys out there that, you know, don't pay on time and don't pay regularly, and different things like that. But for the vast majority of the time, it's not a huge issue. As long as you keep very, very meticulous records on what jobs you do, that's a number one thing that you need to make sure that you're doing for yourself and protect yourself, to make sure you know exactly what cars you worked on, when, for who, and how much. The hail season, typically, depending on where you are in the world or in the country, people think of spring. You know, springtime is the typical hail season. Now, what's the hail season for repair like? Now, that can be as short as a month. That can be as long as a year or two, depending on that particular season of hail storms that have blanketed the country or throughout the world. You know, Australia gets a lot of hail, and they've been hit multiple times so far in the last several months. They've got lots of hail down there. And of course, Australia, their seasons are reversed of ours. We're getting ready to come into our hail season. You know, here I'm recording this video and it's mid-February, and a lot of parts of the US, we're just getting ready to start our hail season. You know, where I'm from in Texas, it can really start hailing anytime end of February, beginning of March, all the way through really July. And then we tend to potentially have a secondary season. Sometimes we'll get hail in late September, October, into early November. And that's because of the season changes. So unfortunately, again, there's such a variable when it comes to hail in all aspects of it. You never know for sure. I've gone hail seasons that lasted 3, 4, 5 months. I've done hail seasons that I had worked for a year solid. And depending on where you're at, I've been in locations in my neck of the woods in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that we didn't get a hailstorm that was justifiable to work and had enough damage for 2 straight years. Now, that is rare, but it does happen. In wrapping up the conversation that we're having here about hail, you know, a lot of guys want to talk to us at the Dinking about making sure that we do hail training encompassed within all of our courses. And it's one thing that you need to just be sure and mention to whoever your liaison is that you're talking to, your salesperson or Cher or Michelle, when you're talking to them about getting signed up for the courses. Because typically any hail repair training is an advanced training. So that's something that we push you through, but in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th week of a course. Typically we'll address it, we'll show you a little bit as best we can within a 2-week course, but we're getting so much information that we're trying to get to you in 2 weeks. Specific hail repair is very difficult to be able to get into in that short amount of time. So if you are genuinely interested in additional hail repair, be sure whoever you're talking to, you let them know that, and then we can help customize a package for you to encompass that for you. So thank you very, very much. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you get some solid information out of it. Please look us up at thedeanking.com. Our 800 number is 1-800-304-3464. Also, check us out on Facebook and Instagram at The Official Dean King. And take care, and we hope to see you soon, and we hope you have a very, very successful and prosperous hail season.